Hey, Mama, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Mama?
Oh, I have three new babies.
Three new babies. Let me
Three
see.
new babies.
Oh
This is Sleepy,
my gosh. They're little kittens.
Bashful, and Sneezy.
Is Bashful bashful or is he like the rowdiest one?
He is, you know what? It's so fun because like I already see their personalities. Um, Bashful is like he eats like a crazy man. Like he just hops in there. Sleepy wants to be in your face, and Sneezy is actually the sleepiest. But then Sleepy wakes up and wants to play. So they came from a rescue and they were named after the seven dwarfs. I think they just give them like little names to
Yeah.
maybe so they're not, hey, one, cat one, cat two. So they
Hey,
will be
gray cat.
available for adoption in like 2 months.
Just two moms on a mission to comprehension.
My little one is sleeping. He's definitely gonna interrupt once he wakes up. And my husband's sleeping too, so we went to sleep too late last night. We like were watching things and like next thing you know, it was like
Oh.
2 in the morning. And I'm like, oh my gosh. What did
See,
we
I'm
do?
I'm going to bed at 2 in the morning like every night now, but then I have to get up in the morning too. So that part
Yeah.
stinks, but
And
it's still kind of worth it.
your kids are not sleeping kids. Like my kid is a sleeping kid.
Oh yeah. Crack of dawn.
Yeah,
Crack
no.
of dawn.
Mm-mm. That's the
We even have
dog
blackout
now.
curtains. Crack of dawn.
That's the dog now. It's like I got a dog and the dog wakes me up before my son. And I'm like,
Oh yeah.
seriously?
Oh yeah.
They're not supposed to be the difficult one here.
Oh, you're lucky. I've never heard of kids sleeping late like that. So
Yeah, it is
you're lucky.
currently 9:45
And he's still
a.m.
asleep from like
Yeah,
last night.
well, he doesn't go to bed till late. He didn't go to bed till like 10:45 or something like that. And he
How
didn't
does he
have
go to
a
school? Like,
dude.
don't you have to get up early for school?
Yeah, he went to school yesterday. He woke up at like 7:45, 8ish to go to school, and he didn't go to bed still until like 10:45ish, 10:30,
Well,
something like that. Yeah. But and then on non-school days, he just continues to sleep in. Like he's like it's going to be even worse when he's a teenager. He's going to be one of those 2 p.m. kids. He's gonna
Parker.
yeah, he's gonna be one of those sleep away the whole day, and I'm gonna be like, wake up.
And stays up all night, like easily 5 o'clock in the morning, going to sleep, and then sleeps all day.
Yeah,
And the
that's
problem with that is, though, there's like, stuff that has to be done during the day, like, hey, feed the dog, let him out every 3 hours, do this stuff, do that. But if that's when you're sleeping, like, you
yeah.
know,
And not just that, it's like, okay, like there's family gatherings
hmm
and things, is it like torture to wake Parker up? Sometimes like we are going to grandma and grandma's. Get up.
the reason why we had blood work today is because the appointment was scheduled for yesterday and we didn't make it out on time. And it wasn't me who wasn't ready. So,
Yeah.
yes. Someone asked me yesterday, which one are you keeping? And I was like, well, we're not keeping any of them. That was the rule. But if I were going to keep one, I'd keep Sleepy, Bashful, and Sneezy. They
All
are
three.
so clearly never having fostered before. I can already see how when it comes to the time to
To give them up, it's
adopt
gonna.
them, I can see that being difficult. So I
Hmm.
have to like go into it and just tell myself every day, like, they're not mine. They've never been mine. Like,
Hmm.
I'm here to help them get to the point where, they can go to good homes. But like, clearly,
I couldn't imagine, like, I've thought about like fostering kids before, and
me
that to
too.
me is like heartbreaking to like raise a child for a good portion of their life and then possibly, having to go back or getting adopted out. I think I would like, I'd have to have a specialist who does like fostering stuff because,
Oh, yes, that would be well, because I've got the same thing. Like, some people, I've had a friend who got a baby as like a 2 day old, and she was trying to adopt her. And the biological parents ended up rehabilitating and taking her back after a couple of years. So literally it would be like bringing home a newborn, raising them to Ezra's age, and then giving them back to their biological parents. Knowing that the whole time, if it hadn't worked out with the biological parents, you were going to adopt. Now, I mean, imagine that for a minute, because you wouldn't love that baby any less than you love Ezra right now. It would literally be like ripping out your heart, right?
Yeah.
Like the thought of having to give Ezra away if he wasn't biologically yours and you had just been fostering him this whole time. Like, I don't know how people survive that. So I was reading about it, and they literally just have to go into it like, the goal is rehabilitation with the parents, reunification. That is the goal. And I am here to give this child a safe space while they're with me. I'm here to love them while they're here, and I will love them forever. And they will always have a safe space with me. But my goal is to do what I can for them while they're here with me. And then when it's time for them to go, to be, happy about it. And obviously you don't want them to go into a bad situation, if the place they're going isn't safe. But ultimately, if their parents can get their act together or whatever is going on that's stopping them from having their child, and they can fix it, then that's a happy story. But man,
That's got to be
I just
rough.
can't imagine someone taking my baby.
No,
Like,
yeah, that
yeah,
would just be. And also I've heard so many stories about, oh, the parents rehabilitated or whatever, and then it's next thing you know, the child is in like a horrible environment once again, like, and the parents relapse or whatever. And it's just that foster parent worked so hard for that kid, worked with that kid, built up their confidence or whatever, for them to just go right back and then it happened again. Like, oh, that's just awful. Like, I can't imagine being the child in that situation.
That's the other thing, is like, this child, they only know you, the foster parent, as, I mean, of course it's different when they come in older or something, but they come in as an infant and they only know you as mom, and then they have to go to this, I guess they wouldn't be a stranger because they'd be doing visitation and stuff. But still, yeah, the whole thing, I do think it takes a very special person. But I do think there's probably something about mindset, that if you just go in with a certain mindset and just know this is the goal, and, just prepared that, like, this is the goal.
Yeah.
This is what I'm here for. And if it works out where I get to keep them forever, great. But if it doesn't, then I know that I did what I could when I could. I did my job for them.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Hey,
that would be rough.
if you're a foster parent out there or have any information about like fostering, we'd love to talk to you.
Absolutely.
Our email is momprehension@gmail.com. We'd love to have you on the show and kind of talk a little about this, because it seems like I know I have a lot of questions, because I've thought about it, but then, the thought of having to give it up, give the child up,
Right.
give the child up after like having done so much for it. Like, oh, that's just, I don't know. So it takes a
Yeah.
special person. It does.
Yeah. How do you
But
feel
I can't say that I haven't considered things with some of my students before. Like,
see, I can imagine, like, if I had a child as a teacher, if I had a child come in and you could just tell that that child didn't have a great home life, was in need, or so, I would have a hard time. And I'm glad you're one of those teachers who has that mercy, because there are some people I think just shouldn't be teachers, where, they ignore some of the red flags, or don't care, or find those children annoying because they might be a little more difficult to deal with because they're not getting what they need at home and stuff. So
yeah, I had one actually that was difficult to a lot of other teachers, was in and out of like being suspended or whatever. And I want to say like we had a good relationship, but we had a little relationship to where like I never got disrespect from him like the other teachers did.
oh,
I talked to
wow.
him like a normal person, and like I came home and I told my husband, man, I know that kid has a rough life at home, and I just wish that I could, if I could, I would. You know what I
Sure.
mean? Like I would bring him in. He's got some troubles,
Mhm.
but inside I see that he has a good heart. He's a good kid inside. He's just surrounded by things that are not okay. And oh man, I'm getting teary-eyed. Come to
Oh,
find out, several years later, he ended up shooting somebody and killing them. And so now
oh,
he's in prison. And I was like,
oh, oh.
like that thing inside of you, you're like, I should have just like gone in and been like, come with me. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
you can't do that,
you,
not when there's a
you
parent.
can't.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's kidnapping, if you just take a child, it's not.
No,
And
no, but I
oh, that's
try to,
heartbreaking.
try to talk to the parent and be like, hey,
Yeah,
let me, you know, take him, or like, I don't even know, can you do that? You can't. And it wasn't like it was an abusive home. It was just
right,
not a happy one.
right.
You know what I
Oh,
mean? So
I'm
it's just
sorry.
like,
That's really sad.
yeah, because when the news came out, I was like, babe, that's the boy that I was telling you that I would have adopted if I could. And I was like, oh my gosh, the guilt that just flows through you.
Right. But I'm sure, what? I'm sure that you shined a light. It sounds like the fact that he treated you with respect, you respected him. So I'm sure that you did everything you could. And, the fact that because I know teachers who don't like kids
Oh
and who
yeah.
come home every day talking about how much they hate their troubled kids. And now I'm not a teacher, so of other kids. And so I can't really say like, I can't believe you do that because I don't know, maybe I might hate them too,
It
kind
could
of
be
thing.
frustrating. It can get
Right.
frustrating.
Yeah. But I think when I hear teachers think that, I think like, why are you even doing this? Like, why are you, I mean, think about what these kids are dealing with, kind of thing. Like, how can you, I would just think you need to love kids. And so, of course, you do and actually care about them as a human and as humans and want the best for them. So, did this happen to you when you became a mom? It doesn't matter what child it is. It's like, might as well just be your child.
It might as well be
Any story
mine.
you, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah. So, like, I hear a story about something bad happening to a kid. And that's the beautiful thing about women. And that's why with this podcast, I don't even think you necessarily have to be like a biological mother or an adoptive mother. Like, I don't think you actually have to be a mother per se to be a mother. Because I think most of us in general are just kind of maternal caring creatures. There are
Yeah.
men who are, maternal and caring. And
There was a woman that my son was like 2 and I was at the farmer's market and he just started booking it down the road. I mean, it was a closed road or whatever.
right.
And I'm like, Ezra, Ezra. And I'm like trying to get him to stop. And the mom just stepped in front of him and like, nope, your mom's trying to
Yes.
stop you. Like, thanks,
Yes.
mom. Mom's helping moms. Like,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
For sure.
And, there's been men who have done it for me too. When Ezra
Hmm.
like, runs away or does something. And, there are men who have like that fraternal, and
Yeah.
is it fraternal for them?
Paternal. Wouldn't it be paternal?
Paternal,
Paternal.
not like frat house, right?
Not like,
Fraternal.
although if you wanted to be accurate, it's probably in some cases fraternal would be a little more accurate, like frat house.
Yeah, it kind of frustrates me that other men like shame men for being that kind of person. I'm like, maybe they just like kids. Maybe they just like to hang out with them and play with them, and because they love kids. Like, why? How come women can love kids but men can't?
Maybe Blippy just likes the millions of dollars he's got
Yeah,
rolling in.
well, maybe that. I know. I told them that. I was like, well, they definitely have more money than you. So,
Well,
am
Blippy
I
started making videos for his nephew.
right?
That's how the Blippy character started. He was just like being silly for his nephew. And then like
Right.
his nephew's friends caught on and really liked it. And then it turned into this whole thing,
A whole franchise.
a whole
Yeah.
franchise. You know me. Dana was obsessed with unicorns for a while. For Halloween, he wanted to be a unicorn. Well, guess what? They don't make like boy color unicorn
Right.
costumes and stuff. So he was a pink and rainbow unicorn. And the thing, and I was a little like trepidatious only because Daniel's one of those who like wants to wear his costumes out. Like for Christmas, it's like we're gonna wear something really special because it's Christmas Eve. We're gonna dress up. And so in my mind, I'm thinking like a cute little Christmas suit or something like Christmas outfit. And he goes, oh, I know, my unicorn costume. Because to him, that's like a special outfit, you know.
Right.
So like if he wants to wear it tomorrow, that's what he wears. Like, yeah, who cares? You want to wear your unicorn
Right.
costume. So there are times where we go out, get groceries or something like that, and he'd be in his unicorn costume. So all you see is his little face and then this pink and rainbow unicorn. And so of course, you either think he's a girl, or one time we ran into a little boy about his age, and I could tell this little boy was like looking and just kind of like, why is that boy wearing a girl costume? And so in my mind, I'm like, oh, please don't say anything and like hurt his feelings, hurt his little spirit. Because right now, Daniel doesn't care that it's pink, or he has no idea that pink is a girl color. I've never said
Right.
that to him. Rainbows are for girls, which is dumb anyway. Like, why boys can't like rainbows? Boys can't like, you know what I mean? Like, those are all just like such dumb rules anyway.
Right.
But
Right.
you still worry about like what other people are going to say, because you know that time will come when like someone says something and suddenly awakes your child to the fact that, oh,
Oh, yeah.
there are these unwritten rules that other people follow, and I'm going to have to decide if I'm also going to follow them or if I'm going to do what I want.
Right. And that doesn't necessarily mean anything about the child. Like he could grow up to be a totally hetero boy who's all about the girls, but just like
Oh yeah,
unicorns, like, like,
he
hey.
likes unicorns. He also really likes dumpster truck and poop jokes
Yeah.
and dinosaur, like, you know what I mean? He
Yeah.
just,
Yeah, and that's what I told my dad because he was so upset about the dollhouse. I'm like, first of all, it's not a dollhouse anymore. It's just a house. He's like, look at all the pink in there. And I'm like,
oh my goodness.
there's also blue in there.
Right.
He's like, where? I'm like, look, blue, blue, blue. There's blue stuff too. It doesn't
That's
matter. I'm like, it's
funny.
a house, first of all.
Yeah.
Like you have a house and
Yeah.
other men have houses. And he was like,
Right.
yeah, but you play with dolls in it. And I'm like, he doesn't play with dolls. You know who was playing in it? His Hot Wheel car was sleeping in the bed.
Right. Yeah.
Like he's put his Hot Wheel cars in there and his Mr. Potato Head and like his Transformers, live in their house. Like,
Right. Yeah. They need a house.
yeah,
Well, and people sometimes get upset because my little boys have dolls, and stuffed animals is like their big thing. Oh, any stuffed animal they see, it doesn't matter what it is, they want it. I hate stuffed animals because we have so many of them.
girl,
But
I thought I was the
ugh,
only one. My husband brings home these plushies and I'm like, stop
I
bringing them.
hate
He's like, what's
them.
your big deal with them? I'm like, because they just sit there. They don't do
Yeah, and
anything.
they take up space, and then oh no, I hate them. There's a few that like I would never ever get rid of, like the special. I would be fine if each kid had like three. Oh no. Like we probably have 200 stuffies, and that's with me purging periodically.
I've seen that.
Um
I've seen them.
yeah, okay, yeah, so But like, these boys may grow up to be dads one day. And if not dads, they may grow up to be uncles. And if not, maybe they'll be teachers, or maybe they'll be around children at some point in their life. It's not a bad thing for a boy to learn how to clean a house, take care of a house, cook a meal, change a baby diaper. Like, oh, these are only things the women can do?
Right. Embarrassing moments. Does it
Oh,
embarrass you that Daniel sometimes dresses as a unicorn in Walmart?
no,
That's good.
no. Who the heck cares? Like, who made the rule that girls wear dresses and boys wear pants and boys can't wear dresses? I mean, it's like fabric that you put over your body. And does it go over one leg or two? Like, that is a dumb rule. Like, a boy wearing a dress is really that big of a like that is what's going to ruin your day? A boy saying he wants to wear a dress or wear a shoe with a higher heel, or you know I mean? Like when I think about it, I just think that is the dumbest thing to get upset over. Like that is the stupidest thing. Go to other countries, men wear dresses. Go back into the
Yeah.
Bible, men wear dresses. Like this is just a stupid thing. So
Scottish men that do the bagpipes are
wear
wearing skirts.
skirts. So like when I think about that, that takes any embarrassment away from me at all because I just think that is just the dumbest thing to get upset over. I just think there's other things that are worth like putting my time and effort into. So if my kid wants to go to the store dressed like a pink unicorn, or if he's curious, because they will do this, I'll buy like okay, so I carol. I wear a big Victorian costume every Christmas and go out and
Right.
sing. Well, this last year I got a new skirt. And the boys thought that was the cool and like a muff and like a hat and all the accessories. And my boys thought that was the coolest thing and they wanted to wear them. So I put my big hoop skirt on them and I put my hat on them and I put the wrap and the shawl and the gloves and all that. And they walked around the house like little models. And I guarantee you, not for a second did they think, oh, I'm a girl or I want to be a girl or anything. They just saw mommy wearing something cool and they wanted to do it
Yeah.
kind of thing. That's normal. My boys, if I'm putting my makeup on, Daniel especially will come in and be like, oh, put my makeup on. And I've never once
Oh,
said, boys don't wear makeup. I put his
oh
makeup
yeah.
on him.
I've had to do that with Ezra. He's like, "Oh, mommy, I'm gonna put my makeup on," and he'll like grab. The only thing I stop him is like, "No, dude, you ain't using my, you ain't using up my
Great.
makeup." Like,
Use my Dollar Tree makeup, not my,
yeah,
this stuff's expensive.
right.
Yeah,
I'm
no, I
like, you
put his
can use
makeup
the
on.
brushes, but you're not
Yeah,
dipping it in the powder and
right,
wasting it.
right. They're just doing what they've seen. They're just,
Right.
he sees you putting makeup on, so he puts makeup on. They also will, wear their dad's shoes around the house
Oh,
or,
mine does that. Yep. Wears dad's
yeah,
shoes on his hands and his feet. Comes out like a
yes.
shoe monster.
So
Like,
I don't know. I feel like if the only concern I ever have about what other people think is I do know that like kids can be mean. And so I would really hate for him to be excited about his unicorn costume and then have some little brat be like, ew, look at him. Why are you wearing a pink unicorn costume? Ew, you look like a girl. That's for girl.
yeah.
But you know what? That kind of stuff is going to happen to him and to everybody because, I mean, haven't people said stuff like that to you before? Whatever. People hurt people's feelings.
Right.
And, my response to that would be like, you can wear whatever you want. Pink doesn't, do you like
Yeah.
your unicorn costume? Then be your unicorn costume. If he doesn't like it, that's okay. That's fine. Kind of
Yeah.
thing. He shouldn't have said that. That wasn't nice.
I feel like I get more embarrassed about like what he wears than I should. And it's not embarrassed. It's more like I don't want my kid to look like that raggedy kid. Like I want him to
See, I noticed this about you. Remember I told you? I was like, Ezra always looks like he's wearing like nice designer clothes. Like he always looks, remember I told you that? I was like,
yeah.
he's like so well dressed because I was thinking like she's gonna come over here and think that like because Lucas is wearing Daniel's hand-me-downs that I probably got from like Target, and sometimes he wears Parker's hand-me-downs that all three of them have worn.
Yeah.
Parker's 18 years old, by the way. So
Well,
it
no,
just happens to be.
he gets hand-me-downs. Like people give me their clothes and I'm like, sure, like
Yeah. Well, by the time they get to Lucas, they are faded, they are stained, and who can now? I will say this: if I was sending him to school or sending him like out of my house, then I would have like school clothes or like church clothes or whatever that
Yeah,
they
because you don't want
wore.
the teachers to be like,
Yeah,
oh, what's going on
right,
over there? Like I got
right,
upset with my husband one time when he didn't do his hair going to school. I was like, really?
yeah,
He's like, it's just hair. I'm like, I want them to
right.
know that he lives in a home that cares about his appearance. Like, I don't
Yes.
know. It just
If I were doing that, so I do think it's a different, then yes, I would make sure he looks different. But just when he's home, I don't care what you put. Daniel will put everything on backwards. Doesn't matter. He has a 50-50 chance of getting it on like the way it's meant to be, the correct orientation. Every single time, everything backwards. Underwear backwards, shirt backwards, pants backwards. I think it's a choice. It's just his style because it's every time. That's why I'm like, this is deliberate because it's not hit or miss. It's every time.
At least he's dressing himself. I still gotta put
Yeah.
Ezra, put these clothes on. If not, he'll run around naked.
Oh,
So
well, mine would too, but yeah, no. And you get dressed, you put your clothes on backwards. That's how you want to wear them. That's how we're going to the store. We are going to the store with your clothes on backwards. They don't match. They don't because like who cares? Who cares?
yeah,
When
I
we get
mean,
home, we're gonna go out and play in the mud pit in the backyard, and that outfit is gonna be stained. So like,
that's
who
true.
cares?
I mean, when he's
So
home, I don't really care. Like Ezra's full on Winnie the Pooh when he's home with just like a shirt and underwear because that's how he likes
yeah,
to run around. But like if we're gonna go to the store, like I'm gonna at least put some shorts on him and some shoes. Like I was super embarrassed one time when we went to Target. It wasn't even like hard raining, but I went to go do the drive up. Thank God Ezra actually had shorts on and not underwear. But because sometimes I just take him in the car with a shirt and underwear because I'm like, we're just gonna go pick up. They're gonna put it
right.
in our trunk. I'm in
Yeah,
pajamas. I got no bra on, like,
yeah, yeah.
and so, but I didn't know, and they didn't tell me in the app
Oh,
that
because it was raining, you had to
because
go in.
well, they've done it when it's raining before. And like I said, it was only drizzling, but apparently there had been lightning, which I
Okay.
didn't see,
Hmm.
which I totally understand. Like, come on,
Sure.
you're not
Yeah.
going to send your employees out when it started drizzling on the way there. So I was like, oh man, it's drizzling. I was like, I think they'll still come out if it's just a little drizzle. No. And they don't even tell you in the app. So I sat there for like, 10, 15 minutes. Nobody's coming out. I don't see anybody. I'm like, oh man. So I'm like, I gotta go in. My son's in the car. He's shoeless. Shoeless boy. Thank God he has shorts on. Because if not, he'd be shoeless underwear boy. And I have pajamas, literal pajama pants. Like there's no denying that these are pajama pants. There's like little coffee mugs on them, and
Oh my
there's
gosh.
no
Now
denying
that I would be a little embarrassed about.
braless. And I was like,
Now, see, I've been in that scenario before where I was like, no, I'm gonna come back out later.
really?
One time, yeah, no, like if my kid doesn't have pants on, and less about the kid, like, because that I feel like people understand. People will be like, oh, yeah, he doesn't have pants on, no big deal. But if I'm wearing pajama pants and they're obviously pajama pants and I'm not wearing a bra, no, I'm not going in.
Cover something. I
The girls
know.
have to be at least. So if I had a hoodie or something like that, then maybe. But
Well,
if
I
they're
had a
just like
dark
free.
shirt on. I did have a dark shirt on, so I was like, maybe people won't notice, but I
But
am
then were you like
36.
this the whole time? Because if I even go check my mail without a bra on, my hands like
The hands up.
automatically like just kind of go up like, oh, it's cold out here in this 100-degree weather in Florida. Oh, let me get the mail. And then I hold the mail here just because like I think that's like I guess when you have big boobs, like we both
Yeah,
have big boobs. So
I had to carry Ezra because he didn't have shoes on, and like I said, it was drizzling.
oh, maybe you could hold him in front of you.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a whole, like I was able to cover one,
Okay, well then that would be
and then
better.
the other
Yeah.
one, just holding him,
Big
cover
boob
both
problems.
big boob problems. And
Yeah.
I was so upset, and I was like, I feel like a Karen right now, but I was like, my son has no shoes on. Like, you guys don't even tell us in the app. Like, if you would have
You did
said,
that?
yes, because I was like, listen, if you would just tell me in the app, hey, we're not doing drive up right now. Give us like 30 minutes until the rain is over. Then I would have came in 30 minutes. But I
How
was like,
funny.
I'm already here. I already had the child in the car. I'm not going to go home, take him out to then put him back in. Like I was already there.
Yeah.
And so I was just kind of like, I just wish you guys would tell me in the app before I'm even like, I'm on my way. They should be like, don't be on your way.
Don't
You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like,
That makes sense. They should add that to the app because there've been a couple times I thought, uh-oh, what am I gonna do? But I've made it. Only the one time did I like say, nope, I'm not going in and actually go home.
yeah, I Karen them a little bit, and they gave me a $5 gift card. And I was like, this is nice, but fix your
I
app.
should be a Karen more often.
Yeah.
Yesterday, we had a roofer or an adjuster come to our house for a roof estimate. Like the house wasn't as clean as I would have liked it. And so, of course, I'm just like, I'm fostering a litter of kittens, and we just got him yesterday, and it's a lot more chaotic than I thought, and it's like really messy and blah blah. And he doesn't care, but like I'm just making excuses as to why I'm embarrassed that
Oh yeah, the house situation is the worst. It's every time, even when you've like cleaned your house. Do you ever have people come and be like, I'm sorry, my house is a mess, even though like like you did your best cleaning it, because just in case those people are like OCD people that think that
Right.
every little thing is like, oh, that's a mess, that's a mess. I'll just be like,
Well,
sorry, my house is such a mess.
my best friends from high school parents, they used to live on my street. They ended up moving a few years ago, but they are OCD. Like you would never find a dish in the sink.
Oh, I
Never.
know.
They would never go to bed with, like, their house is perfect all the time. And I remember, like, as they were moving, they had me come over and just like see if there's anything I wanted to take or anything. And the house was spotless. There may have been a couple like boxes in a corner, but it was spotless. And she's just like, no, Cynthia, don't even look at this mess here. Like, don't even look at this. And I'm thinking, like, this is my house on its most pristine day. And I'm thinking, I literally started looking for a mess because I'm, what is she talking about? Like, what is she talking about? What mess? And she truly meant it. Like, she wasn't saying it to be,
Oh,
you
I
know,
know. No, my
oh, look
mom
at
is
this.
the
Like,
same
she meant
way.
it. That room was a mess to her. And I still don't know what it was. There may have been a speck of dust somewhere in a corner or something
Yeah.
that I,
No, my mom is the same way. She thinks, her floor is always a mess. And I'm like, I could probably eat off of this floor. And she's like, oh, I haven't mopped in a week or whatever. And I'm like, a week? Like my house
now
gets
see, my
mopped
floor
every
is a
two
mess
weeks.
after a week. Like it's on my to-do list to mop today, and it's been about a week, and it's a mess. But I got
Yeah.
animals.
Yeah. And my mom has no animals, and it's just her and my dad. She doesn't have kids. She has nothing. And I'm like, and she spot cleans all the time. If she sees like one little spot on the floor, she's like, well, let me get a wipe and clean it off. Like she my husband loves to come in and just mess with her and just move things that she has. And he'll literally just move it like, an inch over or something. And she'll be talking to him. She'll be like, yeah, because this is in the wrong spot. And then move it the other inch over. And
How
he's like,
funny.
he'll just sit there and laugh. And, it's like a game to him. Like, how many things can I move
And
to
make her.
bother her?
That's
And
funny.
then one day he finally was like, I moved stuff on purpose. She was like, it's been you.
She thought she had a ghost. The other day, a roofing company came out. So it was a different person, but same issue. And it was a lady, and she was like, oh my gosh, your house is so pretty. I love the way you have it decorated and all this stuff. She goes, and she just kept saying, oh, I really like your house. I really think it's cute. And she said, we have like the similar styles. Your house really kind of reminds me of my house. And then she like gives it a real good once over. And then she goes, yours, yours is probably cleaner. But the way she said it, like it sounded like a compliment. But the way she said it was almost like my house is a disaster. Yours might be a little less of a disaster. And the thing is, my house is like what I would consider, it was like it looked clean.
Right.
You know, that kind of clean. Like
Yeah.
if I took a picture, you'd be like, wow, her house
That
is so
looks
clean.
nice. Yeah.
It was that the floors needed scrubbed and maybe
Mm-hmm.
like, things needed dusted and stuff like that. But like, so I wasn't embarrassed for her to come over. But then after she said that, I was like, oh my God, do I just live in filth? Because it was, and again, she meant it as a compliment, but it came out very much like I really like your decor. I live in filth. Yours is a little less filth than mine. I literally put a bowl of cereal in the microwave yesterday. Like, I'm telling you, this is not like me. And I feel like it's not just like you and Momprehension, where it
Oh,
probably
I'm
feels like
stressing
I'm
you
not
out.
on
I
my
know
game.
I'm stressing you out.
It's like kind of everything. I think it's hormone. I think it's perimenopause. It just means things are changing, which
Right.
we know that things change after 40. We know that. So
Right.
lots
Yeah.
of things change. My eyes had to go to the eye doctor for the first time in my life. And he's like, oh yeah, you're 40. And then the dermatologist, and I'm like, what's this weird thing? She goes, oh, you're 40.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
everything.
You're gonna
Yeah.
need glasses to read now, honey.
Yeah. Everything. I do. And for driving at night. Just so it's just changing. But that has been really wild because it's like, oh my gosh. So all that to say, like me putting a bowl of cereal in the microwave, I have for the last month, I've been so foggy headed. If I want a cup of coffee, it will take me an hour to get a cup of coffee, even though it's like ready. All I have to do is pour it into a cup because I will get distracted for that entire hour, or I can't find the motivation. Like it's very possible when we're finished recording, I will just sit here for 10 minutes before I close the computer, unplug everything, and get up and go do the next thing. And it's not because I'm sitting here like reading it's just, do you ever find that where like I just can't find the motivation to like
Oh yeah,
do
all the
anything?
time. All
Yeah,
the time, yeah.
that's not like me. My mind is very cloudy. My mind is very just very and I can feel it.
Yeah.
For the last month, I'm like, I am not myself. And it's got to be hormones. It's just got to be.
I was gonna say, has it been since like pregnancy? Because I can tell you, like getting pregnant with Ezra, I really think he took some of my brain cells because he's super smart. And then I feel like I just got dumb. Like sometimes I'm like, I can't even think of a word, the one word that I always have trouble with. And I can say it now, bookcase. I can say the word bookcase.
Do you remember the word I have a hard time with? I just thought of it. This is the first time I've ever not had to like think. Ignorant, remember?
Oh yes, ignorant. Ignorant was your
Ignorant.
word. Mine
I
is
just thought,
bookcase because I can think of it now if I'm like thinking about the word, what's the word? Oh,
right.
it's bookcase. But if I'm in the middle of conversation and I'm like, Ezra, go over there and get your toy on the thing that you put stuff on, and it's got like shelves on it, and my husband's like, what are you saying? I'm like, the thing where you
I love that you cannot remember the word
where you put the stuff. And it was bad because as a teacher, you have bookcases in your in your room, and I'm like, all right, everybody, go get your stuff on the. I don't know why I can't think of that word.
That's so funny. What a strange word. But it's only been since you had Ezra?
Yeah, there's been since I've had Ezra, like I said, I feel like I've lost several brain cells. And I don't know if it's like maybe because you're always chasing a kid around and all this and this and that.
You're tired,
you're tired. Yeah. But as a teacher, when you can't think of the word extrapolation or whatever that you're trying to talk about, and you're like, oh my gosh. And there's so many times that I'm in class and I'm like, I can't think of the word, and I'm the teacher that is supposed to know this word. And I'm like, I can't, it's just gone.
Right.
And like you said, like you have, I don't know, a brain fog almost. I feel like I'm in a permanent brain fog now, with words that I can't think of, or, walking into the kitchen and being like,
what did I come in here for?
There was something important.
Yeah.
There was something important in here. And when it was important too.
Right. Like coffee.
Coffee is important to you.
I drink coffee all day. It is very important.
I can't drink coffee. So, but I'll walk in and I'm like, there was something very important I had to do. Very important. Stop and think. And there's some times where I just don't remember and I have to walk away and just be like, I'll have to remember it another time.
It's
because you just get distracted by little things on the floor or whatever. I swear, being a mom half the time is looking at the floor and being like, what the heck is that? You stop and you pick something up or whatever, and then when you get to your destination, you're like, wait a second. What else did I was supposed to do? Oh yeah, get my kid food. That's the that's the
Oh, yeah.
Ezra, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get you your snack. Do 5 million other things on the way to the kitchen, get to the kitchen. Oh yeah, I was gonna feed my child.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's been me lately.
It's you've got a lot going on, and sometimes that can, stress in itself can make you,
Oh yeah, stress for sure. Stress can kill you.
yeah. So it was killing me. That's why I turned to online teaching, because although I do love teaching, it can be very stressful. But it was killing me. I had high blood pressure. I had and now I go to the doctor and they're like, "Oh, your blood pressure's perfect." I'm like, "I know. I'm teaching from home now."
I never have to put clothes on. I just wear pajama pants all the time, even to Target.
Recap.
Recap. Fostering. Kittens and kids.
Kittens and kids. No interruptions. No kid
No
eruptions.
interruptions. We've had a few meows. Gender
Identifying
roles.
roles that don't
Yeah.
matter. Embarrassing moments, and having mom
Target
brain.
runs in pajamas.
Target runs in pajamas.
Yeah, can you tell? Like my mom brain is like really, I don't know. Part of it is
Wow.
I'm seeing myself. And wow.
I think you're
Note to
gorgeous.
self. Oh, thanks. Note to self from here on out, because today, as I was like, well, I mean, I was up at the crack of dawn feeding kittens, taking Parker to do his blood work, all that, all that stuff. And I didn't have time to like dry shampoo the hair or put any makeup on or anything. And I was like, it's okay. We'll record. I'm a mom. Like, it's okay. I can be without makeup. Like, not a big deal. Oh,
I don't have makeup on either.
you don't?
No,
Wow, you look good.
thanks.
I mean, look at me. I look like a ghost.
Well, that's just your lighting, maybe.
Am I a boy or a girl? Like, I can't even tell by looking at me.
Shut up. It's so funny.
What do you mean, though? I kind of look like a boy right now. Anybody who's watching on YouTube. Don't I?
No, you don't look like a boy.
Hmm. I don't know. If I were wearing a pink unicorn costume right now, I might think I was a boy.
Yeah.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Love you.
Mwah.
Momprehension.
I love you, Mommy.